Hello boys and girls, this is Mr. Giomini, here to give you a little quick help slash refresher with adding and subtracting mixed numbers with unlike denominators. Now yesterday you guys did a really nice job with adding and subtracting fractions, or mixed numbers I should say, with like denominators, but today we're going to step it up a little bit and add and subtract fractions with unlike denominators. So if I look at one example, we have 3 and 1/4 plus, let's go with 2 and 3/8. Okay, just like I said yesterday, I'm going to ignore these whole numbers right now. Nothing's going to happen to them. They're not going anywhere, so I'm just going to circle them, say, hey, you guys stay here. I need to now look at my denominators. I notice that they're both different. I have a 4 and an 8. What I need to do is I need to now make common denominators. So what's the least common multiple of 4 and 8? It is 8. So make a fraction bar and put my denominator as 8. Make a fraction bar and make my denominator as 8. What did I multiply 8 by to get 8? I times it by 1. 1 times 8 is 8. 1 times 3 is 3. What did I multiply 4 by to get 8? I multiplied it by 2. Whatever I do to the denominator, I must do to the numerator. 4 times 2 is 8. 1 times 2 is 2. I'm going to just transfer these whole numbers over here. So now it's still 3 and 2/8 plus 2 and 3/8. Now, denominators are the same, so I can add. This is just an equivalent, 1/8 is an equivalent fraction of 2/8. I add numerators. 2 plus 3 gives me 5. Remember, when you have like denominators, you do not add them. You just have them travel with you. 3 plus 2 whole numbers is 5. I have 5 and 5/8. This cannot be simplified, so 5 and 5/8 is my final answer. Let's try another one. Let's do another addition one. Let's say I have 7 and 2/5 plus, let's go with 3/7. Let's go with 2 and 3/7. Okay. Whole numbers, you're staying put. You're not going anywhere. I look at my denominators. They are different. I have a 5 here and a 7 here. What are my multiples of 7? First multiple of 7 is 7. Next multiple of 7 is 14, 21, 28, 35. Is 5 a factor of any of these multiples? It's a factor of 35. So my least common multiple is 35. 35 is my new denominator here, and it's also my new denominator here. What did I multiply 5 by to get 35? I multiplied it. What did I multiply 7 by to get 35? I multiplied it by 5. Whatever I do to the denominator, I do to the numerator. 5 times 3 gives me 15. What did I multiply 5 by to get 35? I multiplied it by 7. Whatever I do to the denominator, I do to the numerator. 2 times 7 is 14. Those whole numbers are going to come with me now. So now I have 7 and 14/35, and I have 2 and 15/35. Sorry. Having a hard time reading my own writing today. I'm adding. 4 plus 5 is 9. 1 and 1 is 2. Denominator stays the same. 7 plus 2 is 9. I look at my fraction here, 29/35. I know that 29 is a prime number, meaning it only has two factors, one in itself. 29 is not a number that is a multiple of 35. Nothing times, or 29 is not a factor of 35, I apologize. So I cannot multiply anything times 29 to get 35, so my answer is final, 9 and 29/35. Okay, now let's get to a little harder. Let's get to subtraction. If I do subtraction, I will take 4 and 1/4 minus 2 and let's go with 3/8. Okay, as I've said previously, My whole numbers will stay put. Not going anywhere. I need to look at my denominators now. I have a 4 and an 8. Their least common multiple is 8. So this works out nice in that regard. What did I multiply 8 by to get 8? I multiplied it by 1. 1 times 3 is 3. What did I multiply 4 by to get 8? I multiplied it by 2. 1 times 2 is 2. Now I have 4 and 2 eighths. Let me write this over here a little neater. 4 and 2 eighths minus 2 and 3 eighths. I cannot subtract 3 eighths from 2 eighths, so we have to go back to our skill from yesterday. Because my denominator is in eighths, that means each one of these 4 holes here is broken into 8 parts. So because I have 4 holes, I really have 32 eighths over here. I am going to rename this. I'm going to say, hey, you know what? I still have the 4 holes, but I'm just going to rename one and say, hey, I have 3 holes and 8 eighths. This is still 4 because 8 eighths is 1 hole. 1 hole plus 3 is still 4. But because my denominator is 8 here, I know that this 4 holes is broken up. Each hole is broken up into 8 equal pieces. So now what I really have on top is 3. And if I combine the 8 eighths and the 2 eighths, I have 10 eighths. So I have 3 and 10 eighths now. And subtract from that 2 and 3 eighths. 10 minus 3 is 5. The denominator stays the same. 3 minus 2 is 1. This cannot be reduced, so there's my final answer. And if you want to look at this, 3 and 10 eighths. Let's see here. 8 goes into 10 one whole time, which would then make it 4. The denominator stays the same. So here's another equivalent fraction, equivalent mixed number. 3 and 10 eighths is the same as 4 and 2 eighths. So and that reduces to 4 1/5, which is my original fraction back here. So all I'm doing is renaming. Okay, let's try one more. Let's go with 6 and 1/5 minus 4, and let's go with 3 sevenths. Okay. Whole numbers are staying. I'm going to look at my denominators. They are different. My least common multiple for both 5 and 7 is 35. What did I multiply 7 by to get 35? I multiplied it by 5. 3 times 5 is 15. What did I multiply 5 by to get 35? I multiplied it by 7. 1 times 7 is 7. Okay, so now I have 6 and 7 35ths minus 4 and 15 35ths. I subtract. Oh, I can't subtract because I can't take 15 from 7. So just as I did in the last problem, I'm going to rename this. Because I see it's broken into 35 equal parts, I know that over here at 6, each one of these 6 holes is broken up into 35 equal parts. So I'm just going to rename this. I'm going to take that. It's going to be now 5 and 35 35ths. It's still equal to 6. Now I already have 7 35ths here. Denominators are the same, so I can add. So now what I really have up top is 5 and 35 plus 7 is 42 35ths. And that's being subtracted. I subtract from that 4 and 15 35ths. 42 minus 15. Let's see. 15 is 5 away from 20. 20 is 22 away from 42. 22 plus 5, I believe, is 27. So 42 minus 15 is 27. Denominator stays the same. 5 minus 4 is 1. 1 and 27 35ths. Okay, I hope this helps you out for later tonight when you're doing homework. Have a great day. I'll talk to you later.